The message coming through with this honor your agreement card is, I am the best version of myself when I am with you. This is somebody that is connecting to you strongly, energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically. They feel very aligned in this moment and time, both with the uncertainty of what comes next in this connection, as well as the totality of your experiences with one another up to this point in time. Times where the energy of fear won, and there were stumbling blocks that you'd experienced with one another, either on your end or on their end. Times where the force of love triumphed and you were able to have these breakthroughs with one another. You were able to see one another with compassion. You were able to hold space for forgiveness for one another. You were able to express yourselves very deeply, to emote very honestly, to express intensity and fragility, and to be able to receive that and reciprocate with one another. This is somebody that feels like excellent progress has been made within themselves, and with what they see has blossomed within you, and also the experience as they are having it with you in real time, physically, even during periods of time where there's quiet, where there is silence, and times where you are very kind of like open and active with one another. All of that feels right for this person. This is somebody that is very challenged by this connection, challenged to evolve, challenged to confront themselves, challenged to receive an abundance of love, that it feels like had they not gone through certain shaping experiences with you in the time since they have met you, that they wouldn't be in this present manifestation of themselves that has been carved out substantially, like deepened on an emotional, on a spiritual, on an energetic, on an actual level, to be able to comprehend the value and meaning of love in a way that had been lost on them before. And this is somebody that feels like, even though we've had our tough times, our difficult moments, there's been uncertainties in this connection of kind of like, what comes next? Where are we headed? Did we make the right choice in opening up to this experience with one another? That despite all of that, this person feels like, I wouldn't choose anyone else. You are the right person for me, because I am the best version of myself in your presence as we continue to evolve, as we continue to move through this experience, to ride these waves of energy between the two of us, to have our personal experience with one another and the ways that flutters out into other aspects of our lives. That you've helped this person to accept certain things about themselves, to love certain things about themselves, to close certain chapters of the past that had always felt unsettling to them. You've held space for this person without even knowing it, while they've worked through some deep emotional wounds, while they've learned to accept that some wounds won't close, and as they've generated healing for themselves, maybe even through these kind of new experiences with you that offsets being haunted by disappointments from their past. All of that, it feels like, has led this person to a place in the here and now, real time, right now in this moment, of feeling so grateful for you. So grateful that not only that the stars aligned and kind of like destiny or fate brought you to one another's doorsteps, but that they had the awareness within themselves to continue to show up even when it was hard, to continue even on the times where they might have pulled back a little, to never shut that door completely. Some little grain of hope that they have kept alive inside of them during the tough times in this connection, or rather that they might say has kept them alive during the tough times in this connection. That has always been that light within the darkness, personal darkness, dark times between the two of you, that becomes brighter the more that they lean into this. Times where you've each had to kind of pull away to do your shadow work, to heal, to live your lives, to reach for certain goals and dreams, and you share that celebration with one another, or these are personal victories and triumphs that are just your own. All of that is the energy that it feels like this person is like, there's nobody else that I would want to be having this adventure in love and in life with, in this unique and this intense and this almost cosmic way as I am having with you. We also have rebirth. Yeah, so you are helping this person to believe not just in love again, but it's almost like a love that is incomparable to anything they thought they knew before. This is somebody that it's like, I thought I knew what love was, but the experiences with you are showing me all new layers of that. The dynamic with you, it feels like, again, it's very challenging for this person. It's very confrontational. There's a lot of intensity between the two of you, intense emotions, intense energetic exchanges. There is no room for fear within this connection. And so it feels like there have been times where this person has really struggled to kind of like release certain aspects of themselves that would be prone to run from such intensities, or would be afraid to even kind of show vulnerability within themselves, to show tenderness. This person might have equated like tenderness with weakness. A lot of people in their lives could have taken their kindness for weakness. They let people in close and they were always disappointed and hurt. And it's taken a lot for this person to just stand there with their heart wide open as it can be at these various points in time. And they feel very confident that it's like the experience that's happening with you, which isn't love with a lowercase l, it's like love with a capital L. This is like force of nature type of love. This is something that it feels like is very grounded in the here and now. It's practical, it makes sense. There are reasonable things to kind of make this person feel like, yeah, this is love. But then there's also something that kind of draws their attention to this higher awareness of uncharted territory, an adventure the two of you are on with one another, to reach a place that is closer to that concept of unconditional love than anything they've ever experienced in a human sense before. And so this is somebody that feels like this experience between the two of you, you're making medicine with one another, both in terms of the aspects within self that have never been loved before, have never been acknowledged before by yourselves or by another person, but also in the ways that it's a very real experience. It's not just some kind of like diluted fairy tale of like, it's all sunshine and rainbows, and the moment we disagree, well, that's it. You know, this is a situation where it's like, you've had your moments with one another. This person has had their doubts. You certainly have had your doubts. But you've honored that polarity of emotion and experience and essence inside of each of you. And between the two of you is just as important at the times where you're seeing eye to eye, where you are brave in the ways you are choosing this connection, where you are opening up, you're having these exchanges, you're taking steps forward, you're looking at one another eye to eye, and you are not flinching. That full spectrum reality so far that has happened between the two of you, this is something that is helping this person to feel that like continuing to take steps in the direction of showing up, forcing themselves out of their comfort zone, yielding inside of themselves to receive what you've been trying to give to them as far as emotions are concerned. Because this may be somebody that's really good at like giving love and affection, but they have a hard time receiving that. It's almost like this could be somebody who has a hard time receiving compliments. They are a doer, they're a giver, they're not a receiver. You've been helping this person to develop that yin polarity within themselves, that receptivity. And it feels like they as well have been helping you to sort of structure or strengthen or hone that yang polarity within you, the giver that maybe had a tendency to try to overgive, to try to buy affections, to try to earn loyalty and love. And instead, this person's boundaries at times, or their inability to receive, has caused you to just like invert that tendency to give back on yourself, pouring all that beautiful and juicy energy back into you, which has caused, as this person has seen, like a radiance within you. You have bloomed before their very eyes. And this person now looks at themselves in the mirror, and what they see is someone who has been reshaped through this experience, through the tough times and through the good times. Not in a chaotic way, not in a toxic way, not in like, great, we're in a trauma bond kind of way, where that passion is always going to be something that equates with, destructive chaos. Instead, this is something where this person is like, this connection has been so confrontational in terms of its purity that I've been forced to confront impurities inside of myself, to learn to accept these things or refine these things where I can, where I truly am the best version of myself in your presence, because you have held me in that space of knowing I am lovable as I am, and there is so much more that is possible. And this is somebody that wants to continue to kind of like hold that space for you. This is somebody that is very hopeful about what the future holds between the two of you. This is somebody that's like, I know we can make it through anything because we've made it through the toughest challenge of all, which is doubt. And that energy of trust has triumphed. That energy of presence has triumphed over vacancy. That energy of grace and forgiveness for another person, for their human flaws, has triumphed over closed and judgmental energies that would expect perfection as like a very flat experience, rather than something that is like a work of art, like an evolving work in progress. We also have compassion with higher heart opening. So this person is definitely rising into love with you. They have fallen in love, but they are now rising up into love. This is somebody that it feels like the intensity of this connection, the experiences between the two of you, things that may have activated within them, may have given them a heart chakra activation. They're aware of their chakras. They're aware of energy. Whether they share this with you or not, this is somebody that has definitely looked into kind of like the energetic components, things happening within them, an ascension, a deeper awareness. Like energetically, you light this person up from the inside. And it's not just because they like you. It's not just because they find you sexy. It's not just because, they like spending time with you. There is like an energetic phenomenon that is happening between the two of you that has helped this person to clear out old energies, old beliefs, old patterns, old wounds, or to at least kind of evolve a space within them where those limits are not so off-putting. This is somebody who is achieving more balance within themselves because they have reached a place of allowing these energies to lift up and through them. This is somebody that, again, has moved from an idea of like love with a lowercase l. Love is a hashtag. Love is something that is just a word thrown out casually and irresponsibly by a lot of people nowadays, into something where love is that capital L. Love is something sacred. Love is the kiss of divinity embodied between two people in a very flawed and very human way that also has the essence of the perfection of the eternal written all over it. And this is somebody that is looking towards you and towards this experience with so much reverence. I am so grateful that you came into my life. I'm so grateful we've had our ups and downs with one another, and we are still in this position of we're connected, not because it's toxic, but because every time we confront something within ourselves or between one another, and we hold space to evolve beyond those obstacles, or those obstacles clear away through our willingness or through the grace of the divine, then I have more potency and more potential within me to be able to decipher the beauty of the mystery that exists between the two of us and all that is known, all that is experienced. This is somebody that's like, I was born to love you. I was created in an emotional capacity to connect with someone like you. You very specifically at the time when I did, at the time when we did, when our lives were what they were, so that we could go through this experience with one another, together, separately, rejoined, and to be able to connect and keep connecting with those higher emanations of one another. An empowered love, a love that strengthens and is strengthened by the achievement within each of us to allow love to save us from ourselves time and time again. That this is somebody that feels like you are the biggest blessing of this lifetime. This connection is the treasure. It is worth protecting. It is worth enhancing. It is worth celebrating. It is worth showcasing without shame and without regret. So this person has moved beyond a place of like, I think I love you. And those words can be said in a steady manner with honesty. Those words spoken out loud, I love you, could create an entire world. That's how intensely this person feels. And it's not something that is coming from like a toxic, needy place, from an unrealistic place. It feels like you and this person have been through enough with one another that it's like when that is said, even that truth is personally spoken internally, quietly within them, it comes with the realization of that this is something, it is a love which has been shaped and formed in accordance with how we have shaped and formed ourselves and have been shaped and formed by this experience. If there is no other truth, there is that. There is this, that I love you. And that I'm the best version of myself when I am with you. Every time we step away from one another and we come back home to ourselves and I find you there and you find me and we recognize one another and we come back together and it's deeper and it's stronger and it is more clear and it is more real and it is more pervasive. That all of that is the way that love should be. A love that stands the test of time. A love that doesn't just move mountains, it becomes that topography in and of itself, with its peaks and valleys and all of that being part of the beauty from the bird's eye perspective. This is somebody that feels you very deeply and intensely within their soul. And this is somebody also that wants to continue to meet you where you are, to be met where they are, and to not just have that like, well, this is the best that there could be, but let's continue this journey with one another. Let's continue to honor that agreement. Our souls made a millennia ago, or we made quite recently, relatively speaking, when we first looked into one another's eyes, when we began having our exchanges, when we made certain promises to one another out loud, quietly. Let's continue to show up for that. Let's continue to move forward. Let's continue to rise even higher into this occasion of love with one another. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.